What's up, nerds? Welcome to Nintendo Pow Block for the week of May 16th, 2017. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Deering, and alongside me, as always, the man I haven't seen for like a week and a half, George Varnell.
E3 is almost upon us in a couple of weeks. I'm super excited. Yes.
I was listening to a podcast on the Saturday, and they were like, "Yep, 30 days till E3." And I was like, "Whoa, 30 days till E3!"
Yes.
But since we're not in like this super hardcore environment, we can still be excited. Whereas like people from IGN and GameSpot and all them are like, "Oh, 30 days till E3." We're just like, 30 days till E3. Ah!
Right. People are just like, I just got my confirmation that I'm going to E3, or they got their ticket and stuff. And it's just like, well, dude, be excited. But yeah, after talking to a certain guest that I'll talk about at the end of the show. I know E3 could be a chore for them, but it's so exciting for us as gamers and viewers, and I really cannot wait to see what is being shown, what is being ready.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm really excited for E3.
It's funny. Yes.
Oh, sorry. Keep going.
Oh, just quick thing. I was about to say, it's funny. I actually like Xbox One Scorpio, and I kind of hope that they keep the Scorpio name for it. So,
why?
Yeah, it's you know what, it just sounds like, it just sounds cool, and I think systems who have code names are sometimes better than the actual name of the system, until it starts growing on you and you have no other choice to say anything. And I think Scorpio is like just a really cool name. I think it's kind of fitting for Xbox One.
It's very 90s. It reminds me of like Genesis or like, Saturn. It just has those like weird old school like naming conventions, and it's cool.
Yeah.
My throat is like, see, you stop talking and then you start talking for like 5 minutes before the show starts, and you're just like, blah. Yeah. So, Ed, I missed your face.
Oh, I've seen the multiple of yours, and I've been dying at most of them. Oh, and the lovely food that you had.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, we recorded a show 2 weeks ago that went up last week where we just kind of answered fan questions and stuff. And because I was on vacation last week, and man, got back last night at like 2 a.m. and it was very sad. But we went to Walt Disney World, and man, that place, it's my favorite place in the whole world. It's the best. It's so literally funny. The best place ever.
You love Disney, and I have affection for Looney Tunes, like Warner Brothers. So of course Six Flags, and plus I love roller coasters. Six Flags is like my thing, because of like seeing Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck, and when I see the old school Looney Tunes cartoons, I just fall out and laugh. Don't get me wrong, I love Walt Disney. I was kind of jealous because now I'm just like, I need to plan a trip now to go to Walt Disney, because you was having so much fun, dude. I'm like, I need to do that. Need to find a pack.
Yeah, and like we got there, and like the food is just, I mean, if you follow my Instagram, you've seen probably everything that I eat down there, and probably more. Oh, it's so good.
You actually had a beer. I'm like, what? Two.
Yeah. I was living hard. No, my wife's birthday was last Sunday, so we went out to eat for her birthday, and we found this place called Bongos, and it's like this Cuban restaurant, but they had these things that like when we went on our honeymoon, there's these things called croquettes, and they're like these deep fried. I don't know how to explain it. It's almost like sausage gravy inside, but a little bit thicker.
Yeah.
And we found them at this place we ate at, and that's the picture I posted on Instagram. And like it just that beer and like those just kind of reminded us of our honeymoon, and that was just kind of like, oh, dude, those things are so good. I don't even know how to describe it. They look like mozzarella, like really fat mozzarella cheese sticks.
Yes.
But instead of cheese inside, it's like this really, really thick gravy and like sausage. But these ones are made with ham, but it still tasted the same. Oh, it's so good. Dip them in, like, I don't even know what this stuff was that we dipped it in. It was almost like tartar sauce.
Okay.
But oh my gosh, they're so good.
Yeah.
So good. Oh, so good. I love that place so much, man. It's weird because like I don't ever get to really geek out about Disney, and like Disney World's like, I've been going there since I was like 3, which I don't recommend taking anybody under the age of like 7 down there, just because like, dude, strollers. Oh my gosh, just if your kid still needs a stroller, don't go. Like I don't mean to be mean, and I don't mean to be like, and I know Disney's for kids and everything, but like, if you're planning a trip down there with kids, wait till they're old enough to like walk on their own, or like don't need a stroller, or, you know, me and my wife were talking about this the other day, and like, there's so many things down there that, you know, little kids would like, but they would only last like 2 or 3 hours. Whereas like these people had their kids out all day, and they were just crying, and strollers, gosh, dude, double strollers, and it was just, gosh, dude, I can't say enough about how many strollers were down there.
It's getting close to summertime.
And the most ridiculous thing was like, we saw families down there with like babies, like month-old, 2-month-old, 3-month-old babies, and we're just like, why? And it's not just the fact that they're babies, like you're pushing them around in the stroller, but like kids that age are so prone to like infections and stuff. And it's just like, why? I mean, Disney World is probably the cleanest amusement park I've ever been to. Like it's so clean down there, but still like people like there's so many people from all areas of the world down there, and you don't like, I'm not trying to be mean, but you don't know what kind of things that they're bringing over here that we're not used to, or like, you know, what kind of environment they're from. And it's just like, why would you bring a 2 or 3-month-old baby here?
Because that's there's no one else that's going to take care of their kids. Why they going for a while? So it does, to me, it doesn't feel like a vacation for them. It feels just like a transfer from one place to another. Like you're going from your state that you live in to Florida to, I guess, just a sightsee.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, that's basically all it was. And like, I guess the parents would like ride one at a time or whatever, but man, it's just like, then like even the kid stuff down there is a little scary, because like a lot of the rides are dark rides, which are like, is you get in a car and you ride around in the dark, but everything that you're watching is kind of like, for generic purposes, like has glow in the dark paint on it, you know, and it's lit up with a black light, you know. So a lot of that stuff is down there, and like there's some spots that are super dark and they're super scary. Even like for riding, my favorite Disney character down there is Figment. If you're watching the video, I apologize, because all my vacation crap is just laying on the couch back there. Dragon right here is Figment, and he's the figment of your imagination, and he's kind of represents everything that happens at Epcot. And you know, even that ride, it's made for kids, but like, man, there's some scary stuff in there, especially when it's pitch black and there's loud sounds and popping and just like all these loud noises, and it's just like, man, I don't know. It's just the amount of kids down there is just like, and it's it's weird. I know this is a Nintendo show. This is the last thing. I promise this will be the last thing I talk about. But Disney World is more for the young adult crowd now. It's more for, the anywhere between like probably 5 to 4 range, like for you to have like the ultimate experience down there. It's not a lot of it. Like the Magic Kingdom is for kids, like because that's all the old classic stuff. And yeah, there's stuff at the other parks for kids, but like we were walking around Animal Kingdom and we were like, there's really nothing here for kids. Like there's 2 shows there that like maybe the kids would get a kick out of the Finding Nemo musical, but other than that, like the Lion King show, like kids won't appreciate that because it's all kinds of like, it's like Cirque du Soleil light, basically. Like there's all these acrobatics and stuff, and yeah, they play the music and stuff, but like kids won't appreciate that kind of stuff. And they've really kind of turned that place around from being like, oh, bring your kids to, hey, a bunch of young adults or couples or a group of couples. Like it's more for that crowd now. And man, that place, oh, it's so good. I love that place. Just get rid of all the strollers.
Well, that's not going to happen.
I know we have friends of show that go down there with their kids, and like I don't want to be like that guy to tell people not to take their kids to Disney World, because that's not what I'm trying to do. But like, Frank Clark, I'm looking at you. I know you have kids and I know you guys love it down there, but your kids are old enough. I don't know what year you started taking them, but your kids are old enough, so it's okay. But man, that place is awesome.
Yeah.
They have so many big projects coming up down there that it's like, man, it's in about 5, probably, I want to say 5 to 7 years, that place is again going to be totally different. Because they're the one park, half of it is under construction. Like literally half of the park is under construction. You can't even walk back there. Because they're doing Toy Story Land and Star Wars Land, and they're doing some Guardians of the Galaxy stuff. Epcot's getting a couple changes down there because they can't really use the Marvel license down there because Universal still has that contract.
Yes.
For the Avengers and Spider-Man and the X-Men. But Disney is allowed to use Guardians of the Galaxy, Doctor Strange, and I don't know, there's something else they can use, but it's just, man, everything down there right now is Star Wars and Marvel, and they're really pushing stuff, and it's working. So
yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of the highlights of my vacation. I might write a blog or do a video just later down the line for that. But
my first thing would have been like, "Where's Tigger at?" So I could get a picture. Like, if I go to Disney, I have to get a picture with Tigger because that is my character.
We were going to, but man, the line for Pooh and Tigger was like, oh, man, the lines for the characters were just like obnoxiously long.
Oh.
I mean, we got fast passes for Mickey, Goofy, and Minnie at one point, and we got pictures of with Buzz Lightyear and stuff. But like, I mean, if you want to stay in line for characters, you're going to be staying in line all day. That's just, you need to separate a day out of your vacation to go stand in line for characters. And don't even get me started on like the Frozen stuff down there. It's still just super popular and super obnoxious.
I like the Kylo Ren though that you did with your nephews. Which I all grabbing y'all hands out. I was just like, oh, this is scary.
Dude, he was scary. Like they have like the new, I'm sorry. This is a Nintendo show. I'm sorry. Last thing I promise. When we went to go meet the Star Wars characters, we met Chewbacca and BB-8 and Kylo Ren.
Yes.
And like the new animatronics in the masks that the characters wear is freaking amazing. Like Chewbacca, there's like some sort of speaker in the mouths of the characters, and Chewbacca would roar and like do all like the Chewbacca noises while we were standing there. And then Kylo Ren had like the voice, and he was like it was like a production just to meet the character. He gave us like the rundown of joining the First Order, and like asked us if we were ready to join and fight against the Resistance. And dude, it was like a production to meet the characters. It was
That's nice.
I know. It was like I don't know, man. There's just percent of the people that go down there won't appreciate the attention to detail that goes into everything down there, from the waiting in line to meeting the characters to riding the rides to the cars that you sit in when you ride the rides, you know, to the restaurants, to the uniforms everybody wears, depending on what section of the park they're in. It's just like there's so much attention to detail down there that it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know how they do it. It's so mind-boggling how they do all that down there and keep everything in order and in line. And man, yeah.
When you pay a lot of money to have some kind of enjoyment, you want the best, and Disney gives you one of the best experience that I cannot deny.
Yeah, it's I would be petrified if it was my first trip down there. It's so overwhelming. Like, if you don't go with someone that knows what they're doing or knows their way around, it would be so terrifying to go down there for your first time with kids and stuff.
Okay.
It's just
like
it's just so overwhelming.
Like, I would go by myself so I'll be able to adventure. You know, I don't have to wait for people to make decisions. I could go and enjoy myself and take in what they have to offer, because I haven't been there since like my high school days. So I'm like, it would be cool to actually go back to see the stuff that's changed. It's just like, enjoy it or do anything. I just go there and enjoy myself.
Yeah. And like one of the days, my wife was really sick, and I ended up going. She was sleeping, and she told me to go. It's not like I left her. Like, ended up going to one of the parks by myself, and for a couple hours before I met my parents and the kids for fireworks and to ride the rides after the fireworks and stuff. And you know, I just listened to some podcasts while I was riding the bus, and got to the Magic Kingdom and kind of walked around by myself for a little bit. And I mean, it was kind of nice, just kind of not having to like wait on kids or wait for, you know, my mom to take pictures, or, you know, just wandering around by yourself. It was kind of nice. I kind of want to do that one day, is just kind of go down there for like 4 or 5 days and just kind of walk around by myself and see what I can do, you know? So, but yeah, Disney's not just for kids anymore, man. If you're an adult and you're looking for something fun to do, yeah, it's fun. But Nintendo, when I texted you this while I was down there, like, the only other company I see with this much attention to detail, this much, you know, value in their properties is Nintendo.
Yes.
And like, I know they're doing the Universal stuff, but if Nintendo would just venture out and do this, like replicate the Disney World formula with Nintendo.
Well, they have a good relationship with some of the games that Nintendo has published from Disney, like the artwork games and some of their like mini games on 3DS. So they have a good relationship. It you know, it wouldn't be surprising if Nintendo works with Disney in the future to have something in their land.
Yeah.
You know?
I just know that like they have Universal has the rights to build Super Nintendo Land right now. And you know, we'll see. I mean, Universal did a great job with the Harry Potter stuff. So we'll see. I just, you know, Universal doesn't as much as cool as those parks are, like they don't have just that little extra that Disney gives everything. So
Yeah.
But to be fair, I haven't been to Universal in a long time, so maybe things over there have changed. And we are talking about at some point going to see Harry Potter and some of the other stuff that they've done recently. So, but yeah, if they just do a little bit and copy that Disney formula to do Nintendo Land, man, they're yeah, wow, it's gonna be cool. So, all right, well, Ed, I guess we could talk about what we've been playing since I've been talking about vacation for so long.
Nothing wrong about that.
I know, but it's yeah. What have you been playing, Ed?
Ghost Recon Wildlands for Xbox One. I'm almost done with it. A review will be coming for it in a couple of days. Probably by Wednesday, you guys will be able to read it. I'm getting closer to the end. I'm at a point where I can beat it, but I'm just like, I might as well just finish off the other part of the game and then beat it. 3DS is still Pokemon, getting further in that. About to start up Persona 2, but probably after this podcast and week is straight Nintendo. So it's a little bit more Breath of the Wild. Paper Mario, took your Mirage session, Armor Krog, just a whole bunch of Nintendo stuff because I really need to get my Nintendo stuff up and out of the way because there's just so much good games, not good games. There's so much amazing games that I need to finish, that I need to commit to. And another game I've been playing is it's called Astra Breed. It's on PlayStation 4. I got on that. It's now everybody, if you need to look at a video, you can. It's a shoot 'em up with horizontal, vertical, and anyone who remembers Space Harrier, it has that 3D kind of feel to it. And it all interacts and changes at different views throughout the game. It kind of like your main gun is almost like a spread weapon. You have a sword also for melee attacks to sometimes even block out bullets. You have like a Hummer missile when you use the right R3 button. This is on PlayStation 4 that I'm playing it on. To cover different enemies in the background and in the foreground to release missiles. And then when as to the point, you could use a special attack, which is kind of like your bomb that regenerates over time. I'm enjoying that game so much. I kind of miss shoot 'em ups on Nintendo consoles or any console. So hopefully with when Virtual Console comes out, that definitely, hopefully, a lot of Super Nintendo games come through on that system, and there'd be a lot of shoot 'em ups because that was big back in the day, and I would love to see it back on the Switch and have it on the go to play. Getting some more of the Golden Week stuff that I bought, trying to start working on that. And then anything else I'm playing, I'm thinking of getting Injustice 2. When it comes out, but I just don't know when. I did pick a Mass Effect Andromeda though on sale for Xbox One, so I'll give that a try a little bit later down the line. Other than that, that's pretty much all I've been playing. Oh, and Near Automata. I'm having second thoughts about this game.
Yeah.
Like I look forward to playing it when I do. But there's just something about it that I'll just be like, I understand this, but I think the design and what they did might not be for me, and it might affect my love for this game. But I know Friday I am picking up Fire Emblem Echoes. I'm sorry.
Nice. I mean, I'm probably going to be picking up Fire Emblem also. I'm torn, man, because I love Fire Emblem so much, but like going back to 3DS, I tried so hard this week because you know, when the parks closed at like 9, I wasn't ready to go to bed, and like we went to downtown a couple nights, but uh, I was tried to play my 3DS, man, and I couldn't get into it. I tried. That Switch has ruined everything. It's ruined everything. I can't go back to Xbox because I can't take my Xbox into the living room and play it on the couch. Right. I can't play my 3DS because the screen on the Switch is so nice. Like Switch has ruined everything. And so I was playing Mario Kart 8, which is still really good, by the way. I don't know if anybody has heard, but Mario Kart 8's really good.
Yes.
NBA Playgrounds, I downloaded it. It's okay. It's okay. I mean, I'll probably, if some sort of, you know, proper NBA Jam style game or something comes out, I'll probably delete it. Or when NBA 2K comes out, I'll be deleting it. But like, it's okay. It does the worst thing I think it does is it doesn't unlock all the players from the start, and there's not very many game modes. So like you have to, basically what you have to do is play through these tournaments throughout the world, and they're all 4-round tournaments, and you have to level up your quote user ranking, and you get card packs. As you level up, you unlock a silver card pack, which is current players or past players that aren't spectacular. They're just cool players that people know and recognize. But then when you win the tournaments, you unlock gold packs, which are the super awesome players that you really want. But the problem is with these card packs is that they take the Overwatch formula and you get duplicates.
Yeah.
Which just adds experience to the players that you have already unlocked. But it sucks because one card, like the last 2 card packs I opened, I only got 1 new card. And it's like, that's dumb. Every card you get should be a new player, even if it's harder to get the card pack. And this game doesn't have enough game modes or legs to require you to unlock all the players. Like there's 6 tournaments around the world, and there's more than 6 card packs worth of legendary and epic players, which is what you get from the gold packs. And it's like, well, I could play exhibition mode, I guess, to unlock more, but it takes longer. Or I could play online modes, but you don't get experience unless you win. So you're kind of stuck. And, it's fine. Like I found players that I enjoy using, and I just keep using them to win the tournaments and unlock these packs. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know.
You feel like it's a beta, and part of there's more content that should have been added to this.
There should be like a season mode or something.
Yes.
That you can play through to unlock these players, and it doesn't have to be a fully in-depth franchise style thing from like Madden or NBA 2K. Like it doesn't need to be that, but like I want an incentive to play, and then as I unlock card packs, I unlock the players that I can fill my roster out with. The tournaments aren't enough. When you have 6 tournaments and there's 4 rounds per tournament, and if you lose that round of the tournament, you can replay that round without having to start over, which, there's no incentive to go back. There are challenges that you need to do in each round of a tournament, like get 3 blocks in one game, or shoot 3 3-pointers in one game, or perform 4 spectacular dunks. And then you get a gold trophy. And if you unlock a gold trophy in the whole in every round of the tournament, you can you get double XP for that tournament, which just gives you an extra chance to unlock more characters, which is, I don't know. the way they went about unlocking characters and giving you an incentive to do it is weird. But as far as pick up and play, you know, if you have a friend over that wants to play some basketball, NBA Jam style, like it's fun. The mechanics are fine. The other weird thing is, though, is when you're playing the game, you don't really know what the score is of the game unless you pass half court where the scoreboard is.
Yeah, I was hearing that on NVC. They was talking about that.
Yeah, and there's no, like, you have to stand at half court to see what the score is. And, like, you know, the people who are playing are like, yeah, I'm winning. Okay, whatever. But, like, it's just, I don't know. They made some weird decisions, and there's some patches incoming and stuff that are going to fix some of the things that people have issues with. And I'm looking forward to that patch because it's supposed to add new content and 100 more players, which they better be adding a lot of content if you're adding hundreds of new players.
Yes.
Because I don't want to play exhibition mode every game. You know, I hope they're adding more tournaments and more courts and stuff. It's just really weird. Like it looks like a game that had a very ambitious idea, and there's bits and pieces of those great ideas in there, but they don't perfect those ideas or capitalize on any of the ideas that they had.
And I wonder why EA would release it like that. Just like
it's not EA, it's Saber Interactive.
But EA published it though, right?
No, Saber Interactive published it themselves. With they had a secondary publisher. I forget who the publisher is right now, but it wasn't EA. It was I want to say it was the same team that published Mr. Shifty, Tiny Build.
Tiny Build.
Yeah, I want to say that. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was Tiny Build.
Yeah. See, I thought it was maybe because everybody when they was talking about playgrounds, everybody was talking about
NBA Street.
Yeah.
I wish they kind of would have gone that route, the 3-on-3 thing, because they should have just copied and pasted that idea from, you know, NBA Street 2 and 3. Like, I don't know, but it's an okay basketball game if you're looking for something to play on Switch. In terms of sports games, like, it's fun. It's just good luck trying to unlock the players that you want. Like, and here's the other thing too, is like, you know, I live in Akron and we're Cavs fans around here. And I was like, I wonder who the Cavs have. Like, they obviously have LeBron, but like they have the worst of the worst old players. Like, they have, like, I unlocked 2 quote classic legend players, and it's freaking Sean Kemp, who played for the Cavs for like 1 season, and Sean Marion, who's been on our bench for the whole season. He hasn't played a minute. He's like the coach on the bench player right now, and it's just like,
wow.
I'm like, okay, so the only 2 Cavs players you're giving me are LeBron James and Kevin Love, and it's like, I have to unlock the gold pack to get LeBron, and I have Kevin Love, but at everything, he doesn't have sweet dunks because he's a doofy looking white dude. Like, he shoots threes okay, but not good enough to keep him around. And he doesn't have enough strength to not be pushed around when he's trying to do a dunk or shoot a three. So why would I want him on my team? It's just,
wow.
But I mean, I do have a team that I enjoy using. I have Allen Iverson, which is freaking, I just shoot threes and people with him. And then I don't even know who this other guy is, but he's a good 3-point shooter. So I just shoot threes all day. But the other weird thing is like in basketball games recently, there's this shooting mechanic where you hold on Switch. I almost said circle. Sorry. You press the A button on Switch, and when he gets to a certain elevation in a shot, you let go for like a perfect shot or whatever.
Yes.
And there's no meter to tell you if you're doing the shot early, late, or perfect. But if you hit a perfect shot on this invisible meter, it give you 1 extra point. So if you hit a perfect 3, you get 4 points. And if you perform a perfect dunk, you get 3 points. It's these weird decisions. And I don't know. It's weird. It's cool power-ups. Like you get ×2 on dunks, or you get infinite boot sprint, or there's this lightning shot where any shot you take from anywhere on the court automatically goes in.
Nice.
So there's cool power-ups, but they're all random as well. You have to fill up this meter at the top of the screen, and then your power-ups are random. And if you're losing by like 5 points, you're really hoping for that 2 times dunk or that lightning shot, which will allow you to make shots, and you get stuck with infinite speed. And you're like, really? Come on. But
wow.
And I don't want to like put this game down. It's really fun to play. It just seems like a mess of ideas that weren't put together properly. So I don't know. I'm going to play it some more and try to unlock a couple more players, and see what kind of teams I can build. But if you're looking for a pick up and play 2-on-2 basketball, it's really fun. Just make sure you take the time to unlock the players so your friends don't get mad.
Yeah.
So
well, it feels like by the end of the month, I think people are going to be way done with that game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's just it's one of those spur of the moment games that are like, oh man, this would be fun to play on the go, and it is fun, but at the same time, it's like, oh well, ARMS and Disgaea and Street Fighter are all coming out soon, and
yes,
Minecraft just came out, which I downloaded it on Switch too, and it's Minecraft. I mean, I don't really know what else to say. If you haven't bought it already, I guess you can buy it here. It's cool. Probably it's a cool portable game, I guess. Just it doesn't it doesn't tax the system very hard. So the battery, you're going to get your max battery life out of it when you're playing Minecraft. So that's cool. I'm glad Microsoft took the time to optimize it that way.
Yes,
but
again, because I don't, Minecraft does nothing for me, but Mario Maker does.
Yeah, I mean, I try with Minecraft all the time, and like every 6 months or so, I'll pick up something that has Minecraft on it. I'm like, I'm gonna give this a try again, but I don't know. I can't get into it either. I don't know if it's because I don't have enough time, or I just haven't spent enough time with it to understand what it is or anything. But I don't know. Mm-hmm. It's just it's a Lego set and it's cool, but I don't know. I would rather be playing a game than building stuff and surviving. There's plenty of games like that. If I want to play a survival game, I'm going to go back and play Breath of the Wild. Or if I want to build something, right, I'm going to go buy a Lego set. For me,
I do want to play Dragon Quest Builders. That one looks really good, and I feel like
but there's also a real game built around that. There's like an RPG style thing built into it, which would give you an incentive to go play it. There's really no incentive for me to play this game. I don't like it's the Skyrim thing. They just throw you in this world and they tell you to go do whatever you want. And it's like, well, there's no direction for me. I like games with a little bit of direction. There's that off game that catches me once in a while that doesn't do that. I was petrified to play Breath of the Wild because it threw you into this world and lets you do whatever you want. But they made that world super interesting and super compelling, and they gave you just a little bit of a nudge of where to go, just enough of a nudge to be like, okay, I need to go over there eventually, but there's 75 things in between here and there that I can do. And that's what made that game so interesting. Gosh, that game's so good. I want to go back and play that game so bad.
I think when it gave me, after I got my paraglide, and the game gave me the freedom of what I wanted to do, all I really wanted to do was, of course, unlock the map, but I just really wanted to explore and run into stuff and find out all the shrines that I could find out and just, and learn the game on my own. And that's what I kind of love about Breath of the Wild, that it let me learn stuff on my own.
Yeah. Yep. It's man, that game's so good. Did you finish it yet?
I'm going to be finishing it today. I'm sorry. I know I promised everybody I was, but I got Ghost Recon, and I'm just like, I got to get through this real quick. Didn't expect it to take me that long, but yeah, I'm going to be finishing it today. I'm gonna hook it up probably after the podcast and start working on it.
Yeah, it's okay, and I forgive you. Oh man.
Thank you.
But other than that, I mean, that's really all I was playing. I couldn't play any Fire Emblem Heroes on the plane because you have to be connected to the internet to play Nintendo games, which is super weird. It's like the complete opposite of everything else that they do. But I mean, it's fine. Yeah. I love the Switch, which is something I kind of want to talk about. I actually was thinking about this morning while I was looking stuff up for us to talk about today.
Mm-hmm.
I can see a lot of companies investing in putting older games on the Switch, and like, I don't know, it was something we can talk about either in an episode or later. But
we'll touch on it Thursday because we'll have more time to flesh out our thoughts. So look forward to that Thursday, everybody. No, Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
Friday's episode.
Well, we'll record Thursday, but Friday. Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people are crying out for, hey, third parties, Western third parties, put your game on the Switch so I could play. I don't know if third parties are afraid for sales, but if people are saying that they will buy the Switch version, that's money in their pocket. Mm-hmm. Like, that's guaranteed money. I think with PS4, Xbox One is very decisive, but people are playing their Switch. You see people are bringing it to their jobs. And if I would rather look at, probably even do a poll or something and see how many people will buy this game we bought as a Switch. And regardless of what the numbers are, if I get a certain amount that says, would you guys do physical and digital? And if, even if the numbers are not high and I'm still able to put the product out, but just make it digitally and still make a profit off of it, I would do that. I would put some money in some research and development. You got people on Twitter, you got people on Facebook. It really shouldn't cost that much to find out, do a survey or do some polls, some research and some data to see how many people at least would buy it. Then you'll be able to put it out and see if those numbers will match. And if it's a good port, if it's a good version of that game, and it matches everything else, I think third parties will make money off of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I just, man, everybody, even like, dude, I was at the airport yesterday and there was a bunch of kids like playing on tablets and like doing like playing. Kid had his laptop out playing, like, I think it looked like Minecraft, but it wasn't Minecraft. Mm-hmm. I think it was that Lego version. Didn't Lego put out a Minecraft-y type game? Lego Worlds or whatever. And like, I had my headphones in, but I could hear them. They were like all looking at me like, that's a Nintendo Switch. That's a Switch. And they were like telling their parents like, that's the new Nintendo. And it was really funny to listen to all these kids like being excited for this thing. And it was cool. But yeah, if people are going to like invest, which kind of leads into our next series of stories where people are putting teams on porting games that are coming out this fall to the Switch, like, you know, even if they don't sell as many copies as they would on Xbox One or PS4, if the copies are significant enough, then why wouldn't you do it? Why, if you can make money, like our first, I guess this will just be our first going into our first story. Beanox, which is famous or infamous, however you want to look at it, for doing a lot of the Spider-Man games for Activision, and then went on to be a port studio. And they did the Wii and Wii U versions of Skylanders and Amazing Spider-Man games and stuff. Now they're supposedly porting Call of Duty World War II to the Nintendo Switch. And remember, a month ago, I said, if Activision puts Call of Duty on Switch, you know this thing is going to be successful. Because Activision doesn't do anything that won't make them money. And now we're starting to see teases of Call of Duty on Switch and being ported by Beanox, which is a huge get for a Nintendo platform. So because, like, you know, people have kind of been wanting to play Call of Duty portably for a while, and we got that really crappy one on Vita, which nobody liked. And now, like, you know, this could be a turning point for people who are into this system, into this game, and want to take it with them.
Yeah, you know? Because people will now be able to, you know, instead of dealing with online connectivity and all that other craziness, people on the go will be like, okay, you can't hide behind the screen.
Yeah.
You are in front of me. So bring your skill and I'll bring my skill and let's go at it. I think there's more of a respect of doing it in person than it's just doing online.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, man, and Activision putting this game on Switch is big. And then we got that quote from EA earlier last week. EA CEO Andrew Wilson said during an investors conference that they were looking to bring more titles to Switch. And then his full quote is, "We feel really good about it. Again, we came out early and said we'd be supporting the Nintendo Switch with our biggest title in FIFA. We have a tremendous relationship with Nintendo and have so for many, many years, and are excited for the fact that they are coming out strong and bringing a whole new player base into the ecosystem. We will continue to be bullish on the Nintendo Switch and are looking at other titles that we might be able to bring over to the system." Remember, they came out with FIFA, but they said they were a wait and see. They wait and saw, and now they're being bullish on putting games on the system.
I think it's just marketing speak.
I mean, to an extent, I do agree, but they did say they were going to wait and see, and now they're saying they're being bullish on putting stuff on Switch.
I think that's marketing speak. I do not put any faith or any guarantee that EA will follow through.
You don't think they're going to put their sports games on Switch? Or
nope.
Plants vs. Zombies to try to capture that Splatoon crowd?
Nope. Because the thing about EA is you guys really don't have a good relationship with Nintendo.
Part I agree with. I do agree that they haven't put anything on Nintendo in years.
Right.
What was the last big game they put on a Nintendo console?
Need for Speed, Most Wanted. That was already on other systems. And that didn't even have the full content. And they were charging $60 for that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I mean, I literally don't have no faith and no guarantee in them. Like I just don't believe in them. And even if they do bring FIFA into with Switch, the first thing that's going to happen is they're going to investigate to see if that's last year's version.
Mm-hmm.
So that they're not charging $60 for a port of a game, while everybody else who got the same game or title of the game got the newest version. And I don't believe EA is going to. I don't even believe EA is fully going to commit. even if their games don't sell as much as they can on Switch, you have let me see you progressively still or continue to put out that game. I still want to see games still come up from EA that haven't sold on the other two systems, still be able to have titles that come out. Like I want to see a support till I want to see some support for it until their next system comes out. Nintendo's next system come out.
Mm-hmm.
And if that means that you are going to take a loss on some games, hey, you took the you have taken a loss before on a lot of games. They don't realize that, you know, if they did have a good relationship with Nintendo, there should have been more games for Wii U from EA that should have came out.
Mm-hmm.
We shouldn't have just got a Mass Effect 3. We already had a trilogy out. Like,
yeah.
Like there have got to be something to show us that you guys are going to be committed, because my second thing with them is that I don't care about DICE's engine. I literally don't care. It's an engine that can make buildings fall down that look beautiful. That's fine. I want to see your latest Star Wars game that's coming out for the other systems. I want to see that on Switch. I want you to prove at E3 alone for me that those games that you're going to be showing for E3 that's coming up for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, I want you to make that same move and that same kind of hype for Nintendo Switch. I want to see that. I want to see that narrate I was going to say Uncharted Star Wars game. I want to see that on Switch, and it runs on Unreal. I mean, the games can run on Unreal Engine 4 on Switch. Their engine should be able to be handled to be done on Switch.
Yeah, but the thing about Frostbite is it's made for power. It's not made to be scaled down.
So let's see you still bring it.
I'm saying that's the problem with EA putting all their games through Frostbite now.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a lot harder to.
But Frostbite don't even look good.
I'm just saying, like, it's harder to port down because it's made for power. It's not made for ease of use like Unity and Unreal are.
Well, they still could use that last Frostbite. I mean, I'm just saying, because Unreal Engine 4 is powerful. Frostbite 2 is not powerful than Unreal Engine 4. It can be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because if it is, Nintendo would have went to EA to make sure that Frostbite 2 would be not the primary, I should say, engine to run on it, but it should be able to be done. So even if you got to drop it in quality, if it can still run at 30 frames per second and it can somehow still put out 720p or 1080p or even 900p or whatever, do it. Mm-hmm. But still support that system. That's the only way that you're going to prove to the readers and to the owners of a Nintendo Switch that you are being supportive. Because you're already in a place that people have doubt when you mention anything Nintendo.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would like to see a lot of that stuff come to Switch. I would love to see like Mass Effect or Star Wars or any of those games, even the sports games. I would love to see on Switch besides FIFA. Like, I would love to get Madden on Switch. I would love to get, the golf game on Switch. I just don't know, man. I don't really believe the EA is really going to try to put a lot of things on Switch just based on the fact that, not that it's hard to port to Switch. It's the fact that engine, they built an engine that requires as little work as possible to put on on a system, and like if you have to work hard to put something on a new system, then they're not going to do it. I feel like.
Well, if you're gonna do that, just give us all the EA originals. If you want to support Switch EA, put all your EA originals on Switch. Don't if you're not gonna bring us the big games because you feel like they can't handle it and you don't want to scale it down, that's fine. EA Original is a program that you made for indie developers to bring out creative games like that. Okay, Unravel and Unravel 2, if that ever gets announced, that should be on Switch.
Yeah.
Fee, when that comes out, that should be on Switch. Come on. If you gotta bring these these small little titles to Switch, bring them. Literally bring them. Give us an indie style Star Wars game, but let's see you continuously support them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Maybe Nintendo's working with them behind the scenes to get a exclusive game like, I don't know, Rogue Squadron.
I think Nintendo. Well, that will be a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, that was kind of a joke, but I really want another Rogue Squadron game, and I think it would be awesome on Switch if we got one.
Would.
An HD Rogue Squadron.
Yeah.
Bah. Well, speaking of games coming to Switch, Shantae is coming to Switch.
Yes.
The Half Genie Hero, which was released on Wii U and probably every other platform under the sun, is coming to Switch, which is super exciting. I like those games a lot. And this one was really good. It had that cool 2.5D layered level design approach. It was really cool. There's that big sand monster where you ran around the castle turret or whatever, and like that the one-eyed monster was like chasing you around this thing, but you could actually see it move. It was cool. It's really cool. So that's one game coming to Switch that I'm really excited for. Yeah, a lot of games coming to Switch, man. A lot of smaller indie games to take up that space, which is really good. Really good. Anything Way Forward puts out, I'm down to at least try.
Yes. Oh, of course. I like I was telling Corey, I'm like, I support Way Forward. I'm like, they're the Capcom and Konami to me of the olden days. And anything they put out when it comes mostly to 3DS or Switch or even Wii U, like I support them more on a Nintendo platform than anything else because it just feels right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
Also, Namco or Bandai Namco also talked about their latest financial results, and they have reconfirmed that before the end of 2017, after Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, they will be putting out a exclusive entry of their Tales of series for Nintendo Switch.
Yes,
which handheld RPG machine. I'm all for a Tales game. Tales is good. Tales is good. What else is happening here? Sega, it wants to revive a bunch of stuff, apparently. That's kind of exciting, I guess.
I think with the success of Puyo Puyo Tetris on Switch, because a lot of people are playing it on that system, that kind of just showed Sega that, we might have something good. So let's bring out our old games. And even looking at Konami with Bomberman R being successful in this own way, it's probably time for Sega to be like, maybe if we bring out some of our old titles, put them on Switch, and make them like really good, or like even if they're like 8 or 9 or like mid tier or whatever. If they could get them on Switch and feed the people who want games like that, that's profit for Sega. That's putting them back in a good place, so they don't have to rely on Sonic anymore, or for a while, I should say.
Yeah. The last major game that was announced this morning, actually, Lego Marvel Super Heroes 2 is confirmed for Switch.
Yeah.
I mean, who didn't see that coming? Every Lego game under the sun until the Switch is done is coming to Switch. But that's exciting. I think the Lego games are okay.
I mean, this would be the first Lego game besides Lego City Undercover to like really hit the Nintendo Switch, like to actually start off the Lego brand.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like City Undercover is more of a port and a re-release than something that's just like original for the Switch.
Yeah. They have a whole slew of characters listed here. But again, something I'm concerned about. No X-Men. No X-Men. Marvel has no love for the X-Men.
It might be contracts.
No, they're allowed to put them in the games. The only rights that Fox has for Marvel is for the movies, is for X-Men movies. Marvel can do whatever else they want with this stuff. Like, I don't know. It's just weird that they are just kind of screwing over the X-Men everywhere. Comics, games, Marvel vs. Capcom. The X-Men are a staple of that series, and so far they're not in there. Like, it sucks, man. Especially because there's going to be a 4-player competitive mode in this version of the game. And, I don't know. I'm looking forward to this, but they are really seeming to push the Spider-Man universe and Guardians of the Galaxy and the Avengers and not the X-Men. It just sucks.
Probably because they're more well-known and they can make money off of them than they could with the X-Men.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Looks cool, though. The teaser trailer looked cool. Looks interesting. I'll be getting it. It's a Switch game. I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
Lastly, before we get into some Nintendo giving us their E3 plans, it seems like there's new off-screen footage of Super Mario Odyssey. There was some footage taken of New Dog City and the surrounding areas. People were kind of commenting on it. The video is not very long. It's only about a minute long, but yeah, it shows a lot of cool Mario Odyssey stuff.
I haven't seen it, and I'm not going to watch it until I see anything at E3. Like, I just don't want to see it.
Yeah, this was taken at a Tokyo convention that Nintendo was attending. And in this background, it's like zooming out on New Donk City, and there's fireworks and a bunch of cool stuff happening. It's really just like a montage of the worlds you'll be visiting. But it doesn't show any gameplay or anything. It's just showing like that desert world, cliffs and stuff, and then New Donk City, and it's kind of it, really. It looks cool, though. I think Mario Odyssey is going to be a return to form in terms of the type of Mario game that I want to play, like Mario 64. I really hope they go back to that. Yeah, so it's cool.
Breaking news: One Piece Unlimited World Red Deluxe Edition has been confirmed Nintendo Switch in Japan, but it is coming to the West. With the original 3DS, Wii U, and other platforms have been localized, it seems like a good bet to also arrive outside of Japan. And now Bandai Namco has confirmed just that. Well, for Europe so far, it seems, but it should be coming to America if it's coming to Europe. Anyone in the UK, let's see. It is going to be digitally available for PlayStation 4 Pro and PC on August 25th. And then the Nintendo Switch is getting it physically and digitally on September 2017. So there'll probably be hopefully at E3 that it actually comes to America for people who like those games. But it has been confirmed for Switch, and don't forget the system is it's region free. It's not region locked. So
nice. Yeah. On that note, actually, I wanted to tell people about this too. The Shaquille O'Neal special editions of NBA 2K18 are also coming to Switch. The $100 version and the $150 version of the game, which gives you a bunch of weird in-game stuff I don't really care about. But it comes with limited edition Shaq poster, some trading cards, and some stickers and stuff. But the digital content for people who are into the virtual stuff, you get a bunch of virtual currency, Shaq in-game items, and some weekly My Team packs. If you want to look it up, it's all there. But it's cool that this game is getting the Switch version is getting the same treatment as PS4 and Xbox One, which it should be. Games should be doing this. Like, yeah, we've talked to death about how Switch should be getting the same treatment, but it's cool that game in particular, because it sells so much, and maybe we'll get more in the future. So that's cool. That is yes. Yeah.
yes.
Let's see. Where's that article about Nintendo's E3 plans? E3. Nintendo has kind of released their plans for E3. They're doing a Nintendo showcase, not a direct, which is, it's basically a direct, but they're not holding an official press conference, which we kind of figured that. They will hold a Nintendo Spotlight on June 13th at 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 p.m. Eastern time, where we're going to learn about Nintendo Switch games focusing on 2017, including Mario Odyssey, which I'm assuming that's the big game they're really, really going to focus on. They're also going to show some more of ARMS and Splatoon 2. So, yes, E3. After that, they're going to show some Treehouse Live stuff with a few, quote, surprises for Switch and 3DS. Anybody who's been watching Nintendo the last few years kind of knows the drill by now. They will have live ARMS and Splatoon tournaments. It's going to be the first Splatoon 2 tournament, so that'd be cool. So all that can be found wherever you want to watch the Nintendo stuff. It's cool. A few surprises I'm excited about. I hope we get some announcements outside of the 2017 stuff, because we kind of, already kind of know the roadmap a little bit for Switch for the rest of the year. And we're stubborn Nintendo fans, and we always want to know what's coming. So, how do you feel about this?
Well, they'll probably talk a little bit about the Nintendo 2DS. So hopefully we get more information and games about that. So
yeah, that's true. That is a nice looking system, by the way.
And I really want that Pikmin game.
Yeah, the Pikmin game.
I can't wait for it.
Ever Oasis looks cool too. I hope they show some more of that.
Yes.
Yeah, so Mario Odyssey is obviously going to be the big game at E3. They're not doing we're only showing one game like they did last year with Zelda. Although they did show Pokemon last year, and I'm kind of expecting Pokemon again this year. I'm really expecting it. There's more and more reason to believe that Pokemon Stars is a real thing. There's a lot of rumors and stuff going around about that. There's a lot of Pikmin news. Pikmin World or Pikmin 4 might be shown this year.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of cool stuff. I'm excited for E3.
I'm super excited.
I love Pikmin so much.
I've got them. I arrange stuff for my at my job to be like, I'm like, I have to be doing this, and I can't work at this time, but I'll make it up after after this if you need me. Other than that, I'm like, I got to be here because this is important to me. Like, watching it, having my snacks, discussing it with you, getting hype, seeing what people might see as a letdown, but me being like, okay, I can understand that. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait.
I need to get my E3 snacks list ready. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome.
Okay.
Ah!
Are we doing pizza rolls? I wonder should I do pizza rolls?
Pizza rolls.
Yes.
So the thing about pizza rolls is, like, are you doing the real pizza rolls, or are you doing like Totino's pizza rolls?
I might be doing the real pizza rolls. I mean, I like Tostitos, but they're not. I don't know. I'm like, I want to try something different.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna try this year. I don't know. I gotta think of something. Back on my after vacation diet, so it's gonna be. Man, I say that, but then you know how we go.
Yes.
All right. So where were we? Okay. So E3 is, I think, as this show comes out, is like 4 weeks away when the show comes out. Yes. And I'm so curious on what they're going to show, because everything we know about is exciting. Like Xenoblade is exciting, Fire Emblem's exciting. I mean, we didn't even talk about the Zelda smartphone game that's supposedly in development. Like,
yes,
man, I don't even know what to think right now. Like, Nintendo is in an exciting point right now, and I really want to see some things get announced. Like, I would the only thing I would really be surprised if they announced that I really want them to announce is Metroid. But like everything else would be just icing on the cake. Like Pokemon Stars, I think would be a huge get for Switch, and not having it on 3DS. If it is real, I think a Pikmin game would complement a lot of the stuff that's coming out this fall nicely. Like, there's so many things that are rumored that would just be nice add-ons to the big games that are coming out this fall. Yeah, man.
I think we'll probably see No More Heroes 3. We'll probably get a trailer for that.
You
for Switch.
You think?
Yeah.
You think it's already that far along?
Mm-hmm. We're going to get something. I think Suda51 is ready to show us something. I think Sega's going to have a big splash. I hope they bring something. And I don't even care if they don't even bring the Yakuza game to Switch. That's completely fine. I think they're going to announce some titles for Switch. I think this is gonna I think the Nintendo Switch is gonna be a big showcase and focus on Japanese games, with a lot of Western games coming from indies. There might be some major third-party games from the West. Think most of it is going to be like, okay, Sony and Microsoft showed all the Western companies. Now it's time for us to show them what Japan and other Eastern companies and some of Europe is bringing to the forefront for you American players.
Yeah,
and this would definitely be the time.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see what Capcom specifically has lined up for Switch, because they've come out and said, we're really going to support the Switch, and they've been trying really hard to get the new Resident Evil engine to be running on Switch. I don't necessarily care for Resident Evil at this point. Like, I like the old, like the HD ones that they re-released on PS4. I like the GameCube remakes, like those ones. I like those ones a lot. But like in terms of 7, I don't really care to play it on Switch. But like the fact that they're trying to get that engine running on Switch is just fascinating to me. Like I wonder if, remember that Resident Evil 2 remake they announced a long time ago? Like that's the game that I feel like maybe Nintendo could go in and scoop up in terms of like, this game's coming to our system only. Get out of our way.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like that's, I don't know. I don't even really care about Resident Evil 2 that much, but like, I feel like that's a game that Nintendo could go in and scoop up.
Yes.
I don't know. Nintendo and Resident Evil have always had this weird relationship that, you know, the remakes came to GameCube first and only GameCube until it came to PS4. Like Resident Evil 4 was on GameCube first, and the Wii version is arguably the best version of that game. Like, I don't know. It's just this weird relationship Nintendo has with Capcom in terms of Resident Evil, and I feel like 2 would be that game.
Yeah. And I know they're remaking 2, so
Mm-hmm.
you know, that would be a good fit for it.
Mm-hmm. So Capcom specifically, and like this newfound Konami relationship, like I know Konami doesn't really want to make their own games anymore, but if they're going to license out their franchises to these secondary developers and just publish these games, like,
yeah,
I wonder, like, does Nintendo go in and try to grab a Castlevania game? Does Nintendo try to go in and say, hey, we kind of want a Metal Gear game? Like, how do you do that?
Well, since Konami's planning to revise their IPs, I think Konami's probably going to go to some indie developers to help make these games. Now, of course, Mercury System, you know, that second Castlevania game that they brought out wasn't successful. Okay, that's fine. But I think Mercury System can, if they're, I don't know if they're still around, I think they could do an old school 2D game justice, just don't put it in 3D. Just bring us a 2D style or over the top style. Like, remind us on why we love these old classics and put them on Switch. I think that's what Konami should do to not only still be back into people's graces, but to really make money for the company.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? For right now, for me with Konami, if I was gonna make a splash at E3, I would start doing Japanese arcade collections and releasing them for $19.99 on Switch. And bring them to America. Games that for over the past years that never came to America, that was in the arcades. Bring that over here. People would love to play a legalized version of Parodius. It's not an import.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm interested to see, like, and even like Namco, like, I wonder if I still think that some sort of like Bandai Namco project is going to be coming over in terms of like trying to get a hardcore audience onto the Switch, like Dark Souls, like something like that. And I don't care if it is Dark Souls 3 or ports of the old games or whatever, but like having a Souls game as a portable, like, would be a huge get for Nintendo. And like, I don't really care for those games a whole lot, but I know, like, you know, friend of show Matthew Keel, my co-host on NGR, loves the Souls games, and like that might drive him to buy a Switch. Like, you know, there's games out there that people like that could push them towards buying a Switch that aren't Mario and Zelda, and like those games are huge now. You know, if Nintendo got some sort of, you know, went out and did what Sony did, get an exclusive version of one of those games, you know, how Sony got Bloodborne, or I don't know, there's just so many different moving parts and so many interesting things that could viably happen on the system that, you know, just because Nintendo specifically has a great relationship with the Japanese side of development. You know, I mean, I don't care about Western games so much on Switch as I do about the Japanese side of things. As much as I would love to have a Mass Effect trilogy on my Switch as a portable. Like I would rather see, I would rather see Nintendo go out and try to get a Dark Souls game for Switch. I would rather see them go out and say, "Hey Namco, what do you got over here? Oh, a new Pac-Man style game that's you can put on our Switch." Like I would rather see that kind of stuff.
Yes. And I think throughout the years of Nintendo, of the Switch still stays popular and it continues to sell, I think we're gonna get stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. And we know Namco has been helping develop Smash Brothers, for Wii U and 3DS, and like I don't want Smash this year, like in terms of competitive games, because they need to save one of those big competitive games for next year. And we're already getting Mario Kart and Splatoon and ARMS. I think to throw Smash in this year they wouldn't have a heavy hitter for next year.
I think it's a new Smash game should be the headline of 2019.
Yeah, I just think that, like, I don't know, man. I don't really know what to expect, but I think there's a lot of viable things that we can expect, especially on the Japanese side of things. So, and like, I know Sony did the whole Persona thing, and that's kind of exclusive to them, but to get a Shin Megami Tensei style game, and one's already been announced, but to see footage of that game and to really see what that game is and how it plays, and is it exclusive to Switch, like that would be awesome. Did you hear anything I said for like the last couple?
No, because you froze.
No, you froze. You froze. Basically, I guess I'll start over. Sorry, we had a little bit of technical difficulties, but freaking Google, we need to find a new way to do this.
Yes.
All right, I'll look into that. I'll be looking into that. But basically, what I was saying, like, Nintendo has such a good relationship with Sega and Atlas, and to get that Shin Megami Tensei game exclusive to Switch and to really like show that off either at this E3 or at some sort of direct later down the line, like I want to see how, if they can make a push for it to be like, hey, if you got a PS4, we've got a Persona style game over here too. Like, it may not be called Persona, but we've got Devil Summoner, we've got whatever Shin Megami Tensei game. That's going to be really interesting to show off too. And then another company we didn't really make note of is Square. What's Square working on for Switch? Like,
they're working on something because they're committed to Switch to bring some games.
I'm really excited to see what Square has to offer on Switch. Project Octopath Traveler, and there are some light rumors that they put Final Fantasy VII Remake and Kingdom Hearts 3 on Unreal so they could port it to Switch. Just not confirming anything, just something to think about, So it's interesting. It's the Japanese side of things with Switch is super interesting because that side of the world is very portable oriented.
Yes,
because of commutes and all these things that they like to do over there in their living situations and stuff. Like, portable is good, and the Japanese audience is looking for portable stuff, and the Switch is on top of the charts, outselling everything over there right now. As well as here, like it's doing very well over here as well.
Yeah, it's big worldwide, and people are buying games for it. The communication and discussions are mostly about Switch, and the only thing that's going for the other companies is definitely for Microsoft and for Sony. It's just like when the same with Nintendo, but it's just like, what are they going to show? Like, Scorpio is the biggest thing that Microsoft needs right now for them to stay relevant. Sony,
yeah, the big thing I thought was going to happen this year, Microsoft confirmed wasn't happening, was that Halo 3 anniversary because that rumor was going around for a while.
Yeah.
Then they said they're not doing a Halo 3 anniversary this year, or Halo 6 will not be there.
Yeah.
So that's like Halo, I still feel like is by far and away Microsoft's biggest franchise. Like, and now they, what are you going to show with Scorpio? Like, I feel like we should just do a segment on this and as a separate YouTube video, not a part of Power Block, because we talk about it so much. But like, what does Scorpio have to offer besides power right now? Like, third parties aren't going to optimize their games for Scorpio because it needs to run on PS4 Pro, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox One S, PC. Like, they're not going to optimize it for this huge, powerful system.
Well, we'll see. Like we discussed earlier on NGR Radio, last time I was on there, I feel like Forza has overtaken Halo.
Yeah.
Naughty Dog is kind of the leading company for Sony at this moment. And even though Horizon was good, Horizon was just a showpiece to show off PS4 Pro.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just I understand games want to have like this really big cinematic approach, but they're losing something in terms of actually playing the games. And like, that's why I've been enjoying playing Switch so much, is like Zelda was amazing to play. And like, you got your story beats here and there. And like, I think they really did a smart thing by finding the memories to tell the story and the little story pieces you find throughout the world as you're exploring. And, but like playing Mario Kart has been so not stressful. I mean, it was stressful this week because I'm trying to get at least a 1 gold star trophy on all the 200cc stuff. And like, it's been super stressful, but like, you know what I'm saying though? It's like a fun stressful. It's not like I'm bored. When is this cutscene going to end? Like, and I know people like that stuff and it's fine. And it just, I don't know. I don't know how to explain.
People, I think people have, and definitely with Mario Kart, but people throwing up like, hey, we got an open tournament, come join us. Like, people have been enjoying what Nintendo has always been doing, and that's providing fun. And they have continued to bring a discussion, bring a community together. Where I feel like other games like super heavy with their narrative and big explosions and all of that stuff, that it's impressive, but they lose focus and lose their replayability like after they get done beaten. Like, there's nothing that in these current games that people are going to continue to talk about, where the games for Nintendo, like, people are still talking about Breath of the Wild, people are still talking about like Mr. Shifty, or talking about, Puyo Puyo Tetris, like games that people would think that shouldn't really get no attention, or should the talk about them should have been done and over with after they've been released. People are surprised that it's still going on in the community. And even if you got a lot of friends in that play a lot of Microsoft games, that played a lot of Sony games, like there's not a lot of healthy communication about those current games on that system. Everybody has moved on to Switch to be like, this is what I'm doing with this game on the system, and I'm having this fun. I did my time with Horizon, so now my time with Horizon is stuck with what that time was with Horizon.
Yeah.
All this, I finished Breath of the Wild, but let's like, that DLC looks really nice, and I'm seeing people do more stuff, and I'm finding still more stuff. Like, that discussion is happening right now.
Yeah, I think another thing too that's really benefiting Nintendo is like, A, the portability of this awesome, cool looking console, but B, like, you get games like Mario Kart and Puyo Puyo Tetris and Zelda, even like the world is built on instant satisfaction, built on I have 5, 10, 15 minutes to kill. What can I do to feel like I accomplished something? And like, you can play a whole cup in Mario Kart on 150 or 200cc in about 10 minutes. Like it just moves so fast and it feels so good to play. And like Tetris, you can play around a Tetris in 5 minutes. You can turn on Zelda and accomplish something in 10 to 15 minutes. Even if you're not really doing anything, you feel like you're accomplishing something. And I think like we're getting to a point where there's not really a lot to innovate in terms of telling a story, being a graphical powerhouse. Like that innovation has peaked and is on its way down, and people just want something fun to play. And I think that that's playing in Nintendo's benefit as well, is like, Nintendo, like, I'm going to take Breath of the Wild for an example. You can sit and play that game for like 4 or 5 hours and accomplish something, or you can do something small in 10 to 15 minutes and still accomplish something, and people still feel good about it. And I think that's what Nintendo's doing well right now, is that instant gratification in terms of like, I feel accomplished. I feel like I'm doing something. I feel like I'm having fun in this short amount of time. And that's huge in a society that's built on smartphone apps, that's built on Candy Crush and Angry Birds and stuff. Like Nintendo is making real games. I mean, okay, I don't want to say not real games, because Angry Birds is like one of my favorite games on my phone or tablet. I think that game is really good. I think it's really smart. Yeah. The way they kind of like, I don't mean to sound like negative, but the way they hoard out that franchise is like not the best, but like that original game and that original concept was so smart and so good.
Yes, I agree.
And like, I think Nintendo is kind of taking that same style of approach where like, we have something small for you to do in this small segment of time, and you can just keep going if you want style thing. And like on the world that's built on smartphone apps and checking things and making sure you're getting something done or posting or anything like that. Like the Switch has done such an amazing job of feeding your social media into your Switch. Like you take the picture, you go to your photos, you send it to your Facebook to show people what you did. Like that's really smart. I think they need to incorporate Instagram, honestly, at some point into that, because I feel like A, Twitter is kind of dying, and B, kids aren't using Facebook like we do. Every time somebody younger than like 20 something comes up to me and is like, Facebook's for old people. Like, I think they need to get into that younger crowd in terms of Instagram, because I feel like a lot of the young kids are using Instagram more than Facebook and Twitter now. Mm-hmm. But that said, like, they're being really smart in how they integrate these short experiences with social media, with, cheap games, like, $10 to $15 to $20 experiences, as opposed to like $50 and $60 experiences, which you can still get with Zelda and Mario Kart. Like, everything they're doing right now is so smart in the ecosystem of 2017 that, like, I don't know. I just think everything they're doing is really smart.
Yeah, they're providing you with a lot of variety for your library. It's making people care about physical games. When people are crying out for cartridges, and we're being rewarded by buying these cartridges with little trinkets, the next thing everybody is craving for is like, give us an instruction book with artwork in it. Whether it's 5 to 7 pages, people are wanting that. And you would think that, people didn't care about it back in the day, but no, people miss the stuff that they thought they wouldn't have appreciated. They're not appreciating now. Like that instance of starting up a game and getting ready to play, people are loving that. the install process for the disc-based games, people kind of feel like they want that to go away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like with this digital age, and like that's the one thing I think is wrong with the Switch is that like it didn't have a big enough hard drive to out of the gate. Like I still think they could have offered an option where like there's a 128 or 256 gigabyte hard drive inside this for an extra $100. Like I think, you know, the way people see the system now is like I think that would have been smart to do in terms of the digital age. And you know, I personally like the physical stuff, but you know, a lot of people have gone all digital on Switch, and that's, you know, they
right. And that's been, I don't see it as selfish or anything, but a big thing for these makers of SD cards, of micro SD cards, to be like keep up with the video game industry, because people are going to need your product. So that's good business for you. You're saying, oh, okay, this Nintendo Switch, let's see what they're offering. Oh, that's not enough memory. But they mentioned something about micro SD cards up to 2 terabytes. Hey, let's partner up with Nintendo, or let's try to get our stuff out. Or when the system come out, we could make some money and make some money off of their disadvantage that they didn't achieve, that they didn't go for. Okay, Nintendo didn't give you a good enough hard drive. Hey, we have 128 micro SD card for $9. Let's flip the stores. So when people buy it, to be like, oh, you know, I could use this in my Nintendo Switch, or I could use this for my computer, camera, whatever, my cell phone, whatever. That way that you're able to hit not only the video game market, but your regular purpose for people who use it outside of video games. You know, and that's more money for them. Hey, you're getting a Nintendo Switch, or a sale is coming up for the Nintendo Switch. Oh, Mario Kart 8 is going to be a big game. Hey, how about we just, you know, let's do a $10 sale off of our SD cards, so we could get a business, so we could, you know, maybe people who are buying the Switch and picking up Mario Kart 8, this might help. They might get some more games.
Yeah. And like right now on Amazon, the 200 gig memory card is only $60. So like memory's cheap. I just like, I don't know. It still boggled my mind that like it didn't have at least 100 gig hard drive inside. But like, I mean, memory is an option, and like, you know, people that want to buy physical don't necessarily need the memory, because the memory inside is only saving your progress. And like, yeah, maybe one day they'll upgrade to a 64 gig SD card to save more games or screenshots or whatever. But like, you know, I don't know. It's just, I think everything they're doing is really smart, and going with the non-proprietary memory cards was smart, and going with, you know, all these simple control options was really smart. And, you know, the Pro Controller is the best controller I think I've ever used. Like hands down, like since the GameCube, like that controller it feels really, really good in terms of it's got the right amount of weight in it. It's got the weight distribution is really nice. I like the bottom of my controller heavy, which is the only reason why I bought that stupid chat pad for the Xbox 360 controller, because the top of it was so heavy that I needed something to weigh it down to hold comfortably in my hand. You know, it comes with the rechargeable battery inside, which is really nice. Yeah, it's $10 more, but you're going to be paying $30 for an Xbox One, so I don't know what you're complaining about. Pretty much. You know, it's it's just so, everything they're doing with the system is so smart. I really want some colored Pro controllers. I think that'd be really cool eventually, and I think
that's coming.
I think they're coming. I think it would be cool if they did what Microsoft did and to let you design your own. I don't know if Nintendo would go that far or not, but like, I just think everything that they're doing right now in terms of the Switch is super smart. And, you know, next up is, are we going to get Virtual Console? How are they going to handle that? How are they going to handle their 2017 and 2018 lineups? it's just, I don't know. Everybody's been so negative on them for so long that, you know, it's nice to see people bounce back and be excited for Nintendo again. And it's nice to see that they're making a lot of positive decisions right now.
Yes.
And
that I agree.
There's the occasional indie who's saying it's hard to get their game on Switch right now, but it's also because I think Nintendo wants to control the message right now and kind of space everything out. You know, that I think they want to avoid the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 problem as well. Like, they don't want everybody to put everything they ever made onto their system. You know, I think they want to control what style of game goes on their console. And like, yeah, say what you will, there's a bunch of weird stuff on Switch at the beginning, like that witch bicycle game or like that city building game that and you know, the Neo Geo stuff that's coming out once a week is pretty nice. And yeah, I just think Nintendo's being really smart about managing a lot of stuff and really smart about controlling what games go where, and still hoping for that Axiom Verge announcement at E3, but we'll see. And Metroid.
Yeah. I feel like the way that they're planning their games is helping people be able to budget.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that works so well within each other.
Yeah, and they're all like, to your point, they're only releasing like 1 or 2 games a week, which is really smart.
Yeah.
You know, people don't have the money to buy like 50 games every week, and you know, they're being really smart on releasing 1 or 2 games every week. You know, this week for less than $50 you could get NBA Playgrounds and Minecraft. That was this week, or last week. That was last week's releases. This week it's, you know, Fire Emblem. I'm sure they're pushing really hard on 3DS. But in terms of Switch, there's only 1 release this week. I think it's Thumper, which is that rhythm game that came out on VR. And then next week is Disgaea 5 and Street Fighter. And then the following week will be something, and then the week after that will be ARMS. Like, they're just being really smart about how they're releasing stuff. And yes. I like it. And I like it.
I love it.
I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. I hate that song. I don't know why I started singing it.
I wonder if we get into Amiibo for Fire Emblem.
Friday.
I'll see tomorrow.
You in terms of okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant when is it? Okay.
When it releases.
Some stores released them early, which was going around the internet for a little bit. But those are some nice looking Amiibo, by the way. The Fire Emblem ones.
Yes. It looks really, really good.
Yeah. Well, what do you say we wrap up this episode and let people go live their lives and not listen to us anymore?
Yes. Let's do that.
Even though I enjoy talking to you friends and fans, and Ed, I enjoy talking to everybody. So, Ed, where can we find you on this World Wide Web?
You guys can find me on Twitter at That Retro Code. You can hear my podcast, Optional Opinion, at SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, and other podcast apps. My other podcast, World 11 Podcast. If you guys know who Comrade is, he's a former Destructoid games journalist. Me and Larry from World 11, we did an interview with him. We podcasted with him. So it is up on shoutsengine.com. So give that one a listen. And stuff coming for NGR in the coming weeks, and a big feature for Optional Opinion at the end of this month. And then I'll be getting ready for E3 with Corey.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see. You can find me on Corey and HD on Instagram. You can find me at Corey Hudson and HD on Twitter. If you want to check out my vacation photos, there's a bunch up there on Instagram. You can check those out. You can find me every week here on this show and on NGR Radio with Matthew Keel, and I think we're trying to put together guests for tomorrow's recording as well. Ed, you should just come back and hang out with us on NGR tomorrow.
Yeah.
Let's see. You can find everything on ngrradio.com and on our YouTube page. Just search NGR Radio. We've got a couple ideas brewing. I'm getting ready to clean up this mess and set up for green screen stuff and soundproof stuff and all kinds of cool stuff. So hopefully I'll get all that situated before the next episode, and we'll go from there. Let's see. You can join our Facebook groups, facebook.com/groups/Nintendo Pow Block, and the NGR Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/NGR Radio Podcast. Other than that, we will see you on Friday. And thank you so much for watching. And we love you.
Bye, everybody. Woo, yay, Nintendo.
Woo!